this episode isn't just going to be about my battle with instant gratification. I'm also battling with my bedroom voice. So I'm going to try my best as much as possible to project, sound as loud or audible as possible. Okay. And in the business of today, I am going to be changing the name of the podcast. The reason why I started in the first place was to share my faith, which is still the reason why I am going to continue, or continuing, if there's a word like that. There is actually. Anyways, something happened to me recently, and it's gist for another episode, right? So I'm just going to tell you that I'll be sharing my faith, my journey as a Christian, and my career and my life in general. I will explain everything in another episode, possibly the next episode. But today's episode, I know I said something in one of my captions, and I said I was going to talk about my battle with instant gratification. And I think it's something a lot of us battle with, right? If you're in your 20s, early or late, or mid. 24 is mid-20s. Yeah. You know how you send a message and it's delivered instantly? When you order something online, it comes to you instantly. You sort of get used to getting things as fast as possible. And for me, I was lucky. When I got my first job, I grew very, very, very fast. I was paid a lot very, very fast. And that kind of sealed my mentality with having to, figure out life as fast as possible, get married at 25, Like, I had plans for my 24, 25. And now that I'm approaching, I'm seeing that life is, I don't want to say harder, it's different from how I pictured it when I was younger. And in all of these lessons, I've come to realize that instant gratification is actually destroying a lot of us. It's kind of the reason why we experience depression, because you've pictured something for yourself, and now that you're there, you're not getting it. And it happens to us a lot when it comes to our career, right? So I left my old job. I started my company in 2019, and the first few months was bumpy, but in no time, everything just skyrocketed, and I was earning so much, and I was feeling like a boss. But then it got to its climax. It wasn't like I was earning less, but God just started to deal with me. That was early this year. And I started realizing, okay, this is kind of gist for another episode. I will explain to you what God did to me and the lessons I learned from God dealing with me. But it opened my eyes to instant gratification and how it has affected me, right? I had plans, big picture of how I wanted my 24, 25 to be like. And now that I'm not getting it, I started feeling depressed, right? Like, is it actually possible to achieve my plans? I want to be very successful at 25. Like, at 30, I want to be, traveling the world. It's a lot. I can't share everything. But now that I am nowhere close to the pictures I have or I had in my head, it was bumming me out at first. But I got to realize 20s actually, in fact, your 20s, you're actually very young. You're still a youth. And basically, you're meant to make mistakes in your youth and learn. Not beat yourself up because you are not achieving what you thought you would be achieving at this time. What's the point of being a youth if it's not to, I don't want to say have fun, I don't want to say YOLO, but basically that is what it is. Make mistakes, learn from them. Not beat yourself up because you're not achieving as much as you should be. And I'm an Edo boy from Edo State. Every boy my age, in fact, every boy 19 my age and above are, not every boy, most of them are into internet fraud. Yahoo boys, that's the word. And why do they do these things? Because they want to be rich as fast as possible, live the life the internet has like projected on you to seem like the life of someone who has achieved a lot. And in reality, your achievement They are not. I don't want to say they're not supposed to come in your 20s because they come for a lot of people, but it shouldn't be your priority. It shouldn't be where your thoughts revolve around. And for me, last year I was spending a lot. I was, trying to do a lot. And this year, where I'm realizing that this is not the kind of life God has planned for me, and a lot of things are not happening as I intended for them to happen or wished for them to happen. And I'm realizing if I did not have God, if I did not have Jesus to cast my cares and anxiety on, well, what would be happening to me by now? Let's say I don't have Jesus. What would be happening to me now? Right? I would have been thinking of getting a rope or using this my mic cord to hang myself and end it all. But no, that's not what it should be. I know this episode is going to be very, very short. Very, very short. Because I've actually said everything I want to say. And I hope this, sort of stands as a lesson to people who are beating themselves up to achieve a lot in their 20s. Do you know, in my head, I was picturing myself 30 under 30, Forbes 30 under 30. I can still get there, but it shouldn't be a priority or the top of my list of things I want to be or become, right? Okay. I've said a lot. I don't want this episode to be very long. I'm just going to stop here. But before I go, I'm going to be posting this on IGTV too. So on the comment section, you can please give me a name for this podcast. I want to change the name. It's currently Back to Truth, but I want to change the name. So I'm giving everybody an opportunity to name it. I'll consider everything you say. Well, be wise. Use your conscience to give me a name. Thank you.